Danger. Where there are people, there is noise. What a scam. Where there are people, there is noise.
Why isn't there a...
Benny's
Let's
most
make dreams
illustrious.
great again.
Where there are people, there is noise.
Ugh, who are these people?
I wonder if exercising in dreams actually works.
Don't leak the contents of this conversation. Don't leak the contents of this conversation. Oh, it's the news app.
Serenade the glow. Get your tickets for Robin's Life is a Song concert while they're hot.
All that education and it's all that education and it's
Give him a kid's meal.
Everything you want, we have.
A dream about eons?
Trailblazers from the Astral Express. Welcome to the Dreamscape Sales Store. Oh, please excuse me. You must be here to expound. Veteran gamer. Luckily, I just... Oh, yes.
The nature of this memory. In my estimation, there is no question about it. This is murder.
Murder. Such a foreign word to us. The people of Penacony could never come to any harm while under the watchful protection of the family. In a dream, even if you're bashed 1,000 times with a hammer, at worst you'll still wake up in reality in a hotel.
Not necessarily. Even if the result does not constitute harm, the criminal intent is clear enough. You specifically came here to cordon off the scene because of the unsavory nature of this case, right?
You're not wrong. Even if there are no casualties, being smashed over the head with a hammer in the middle of the street for no reason at all. This is not the kind of thing that happens on Penacony. You are guests of the Oak family, so you may investigate the crime scene. I'll be on standby over here.
Are you a witch? Just how did you manage to convince them in the blink of an eye that we're some kind of detectives?
Just some suggestions at the memory level. If something happens in everybody's memory, then that something becomes a fact. If we had a little more time, I could have even convinced her I was Shipe the Harmony. Then, on to the next order of business. Let's discuss your companion, shall we?
Memo Keeper of the Garden of Recollection. I've been watching you for quite some time. You stole a glance at me when you first entered the hotel. You followed me wherever I went inside the dreamscape. In the windows along the commercial street. In the pond water reflections of the Idean Park. Even in the reflections of the wine glass. Everywhere. My dear, do you have a crush on me? Well then, seeing as you're so interested in me, let's play a little game. I left a puzzle for you near OT Mall. Solve it and prove that you're capable of pleasing me. If you can solve it, then we can talk. Don't leave me waiting, my dear. Before Penacony gets flipped upside down, try to find me, catch me, and stop me.
There's actually more than one memo keeper who's come to Penacony. She's mixed me up with someone else. But no harm, no foul. The address that the mask gave you was right here. But you never would have thought that when Miss Sparkle mentioned a game, she was talking about wanton slaughter on the streets of Penacony. Such a direct act of provocation is enough to get my competitive side worked up too.
Madam, forgive me. I had no idea about anything she said. As you saw, I went through a brain scan and everything. I'm just a friend, helping her deliver a letter, that's all. I never knew this was actually a declaration of warfare. They say you shouldn't kill the messenger. So, maybe you can just, let me go. You all are the big shots here. I'm really not on your level.
What a frightened look you have. Don't worry. Since this has nothing to do with you, I won't be suspecting you of anything. Why don't you come take a stroll with me?
Oh, seems like I can't escape being an assistant detective. Oh, fine. It's all fine. No big deal.
Anything you'd like to know, please ask.
Who was the victim?
An IPC employee named Shamari collapsed on the spot.
Ooh, that sounds...
Who are those two?
Seems like the assailants. Those two have clammed up.
Looks like a puzzle that...
Any leads yet?
This is a developing case. They didn't even take the weapon with them.
Where's Mr. Shamar?
I'm afraid you can't. Best not to bother him.
Oh, I'm afraid by the...
Looks like we'll have to blame.
Mr. Coldfeet.
So they can talk?
Don't interrupt, I was
The Sparkle murder.
You're wrong, Lady Black.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
Miss Sparkle was supposed Miss Sparkle had been my investigation. They narrowly escaped.
So the three of them
Is the...
No, there can only be one.
if you can't...
Got it!
that actually...
Please begin your investigation. I've got the case file right here. Lady Black Swan. Lefton is one of me. Then there's Zhongshan. Last of all comes...
Hang on, I'm confused here.
What? Where did...
got it. But
Lefton is one of... Then there's Zhongshan. Last of all comes right. That's all the intel we have.
Look, and I...
Mr. Shamari's...
Holy...
Miss Sparkle.
I'm barely... Is that all the evidence? Oh, you scared me! When did you pop out?
The two pieces of evidence.
Isn't that a bit...
No.
Seems quite nice of her.
Looks like Miss Sparkle is... What's this little device here?
Don't push it, Lady Black. That's the mutually... Miss Sparkle also...
That sounds like...
Correct.
Oh,
Aren't you going to ask me why?
okay.
Because...
This is... What's this?
Regardless of what...
Have you ever heard of such...
I see.
That's just in case.
You don't...
This notice.
That sounded like a...
This is so her stuff. Doesn't look like there are any more clues.
Next, should we pin left in? Remember Zhongshan? I remember this one.
Why don't we flip the...
If you put it like that. So, remember Zhongshan? Oh, is...
Poor guy. That would suggest...
So, left in, back. Oh, is... Oh, is that...
Based on the bailiff's left and...
My process?
Please begin your...
The murderer.
Huh?
Looks like the key to winning lies not in the puzzle itself.
I have to remind...
That's exactly what I planned. Right now, let's follow her train of...
So why are you so focused on Sparkle's challenge? Or should I ask, are you more focused on Sparkle her...
I told you. It's purely out of a spirit of competitiveness. And, as a memo keeper, I also have to fulfill my responsibilities and harvest some interesting memories.
Whoa, this place is a complete...
There's nobody else at this...
Oh, Detective Black Swan and Detective... We don't know what we'd do without your help.
Why are you talking like that? Is this some sort of artistic performance that young people are into these days?
Is there something wrong with the way we are talking? Deputy Sheriff, am I talking in a strange way? Oh, of course not, Sheriff. The way you talk is no stranger than the cat that climbs the apple tree in my grandma's backyard.
Huh. The skit this time is a modernist one.
Let's discuss this difficult case then. The victim is a galactic business magnate named Sparkle.
Her again? Sparkle really is obsessed with scripting her own death.
Oh, for the laughter. If you undercut me one more time, I swear I'm gonna kick you in the butt. Miss Sparkle came to the fashion store to buy herself a brand new tie. She didn't come back out. After a long time, the shopkeeper went in to see what was going on. Instead, discovered Miss Sparkle's body. She had been strangled to death. There were 3 suspects on the scene, namely a Pepeshi shopkeeper named Wright, a Foxian gambler named Zhongshan, and a wealthy Intellitron trader called Lefton.
Our old friends.
It's not just to aid your memory. We've added more descriptions to help tell them apart. Miss Sparkle is so gracious. Based on surveillance footage, witness testimony, and various pieces of evidence, the killer is ultimately among these 3, and they were not working in cahoots.
You're too lazy to be a suspect, right?
Oh, for the laughter! If I talk any more with you, it'll make my pure soul filthy! Detective Black Swan, the dossiers are over here. You can learn more about the suspects from me. I trust you'll be able to cut through the hogwash and find out who Miss Sparkle's killer is.
Harmonize. Serenade the glow. Get your tickets for Robin's Life in the Song concert while they're hot.
Let me introduce the identities of these suspects to you. It's very straightforward. First of all is the shopkeeper, right? He's one of the Papashi people and only stands as tall as Sparkle's waist, which is often a source of teasing for him. He can get pretty salty about it. Next up, you have the merchant Lefton. He wants to join up with the Penacony Trading Guild and is in direct competition with Miss Sparkle. That could be a motive for killing her. Finally, there is the gambler Zhongshan. He lost a bet to Miss Sparkle, and he had to hand over his family heirloom. It's possible he harbored a grudge against her. That's all the information we have. Do you need me to repeat it?
Sorry to interrupt your dreamscape, but don't worry.
First of all, next up, finally there is the gap.
There's an accounting book lying on the This Jen... And there...
That's skip before.
The tag on the top.
That's not how. So, it's
Miss Sparkle.
She doesn't want to distract our investigation?
a little stool that seems quite...
The footprints, which are half as big.
Perhaps it's just... What's that?
Mr. Sampo. Even among the fools I know.
Have you dealt with me?
No, only a handful.
Because this ring was found
in the victim's mouth.
Hey, there's something engraved in...
That should be it.
Let's have...
I have to thank you, Mr. Assistant Detective, but...
Have you found out who the killer is?
Just some shallow intuition. Anyway, let's...
Oh, for the laughter!
Pretty much.
You live up to your reputation. Then go ahead. Good. Then let us appreciate. Have you solved this guy, Zhongshan?
This ring is a piece.
That's right. What would a penniless wreck he'd stolen? Who could have what a
As you can imagine, the conclusion, Mr. Assistant.
Ah, I see.
Correct, Detective.
Sheriff, the murderer is...
Yes.
That... Right from the start, there was...
Goodness me.
Look, Miss Sparkle has given us a...
I'll take it so anyway.
So that's it? This is just...
Then I wish you both the best.
Just as you said, solving puzzles is all just a cover for something else. That girl is toying with us. What should we do now?
Miss Black Swan, Mr.
A murder in a locked...
As expected.
Yesterday, the butler Zhangshan.
As soon as I heard...
The room was covered.
Thinking quickly, I grabbed the...
Besides us and Zhangshan.
Presumably, why don't you skip all this rig...
No cheating!
Huh. Let's go. Can't keep going.
Hey, Miss Black Swan, wait up! Ding-a-ling! Now comes the most exciting and romantic moment in any drama. The audience challenge. Everyone knows that the mighty masked fool Sparkle can change her appearance to look like others. And in this drama, the villain Sparkle has disguised herself as another character. So then, I put to you, which character is it? Also, if you're interested in the locked room case that the memo keeper ignored, you can try out your powers of deduction. I put lots into coming up with the puzzle, so don't let it go to waste. Thus, the masked genius Miss Sparkle has thrown down the gauntlet. All the clues are in motion. Happy hunting!
Miss, why didn't you just do this earlier?
Such a crude approach violates my aesthetics of memory. But as a means to an end, I need to put this aside for a more indifferent process.
There's no weird...
Hey! I didn't expect you. Listen up.
No murder case.
Sometimes it's nice.
Since it's a classic puzzle,
Wah, wah. Wrong answer. The correct answer is... Sparkle! When sleepy in the morning, she can't get so natural. Got 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at night, and 3 legs at night.
What the heck was that jibber-jabber?
what a cute...
Thanks for the compliment, my dear.
Nice job! Ill tidings manifest.
Lend me your strength.
Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards! What's
Huh. Holy smokes! What's up with this guy? He just came out swinging from nowhere! Huh? No voices? This guy's pretty quiet. Miss, let's hurry up. Flip open the lid and find the girl.
Wait. Don't move. Something's off.
Miss, you killed Sparkle! How is this possible? How can people die inside Penacony's dreamscape? In the Garden of Recollection. What did you do?
You did this, didn't you? Killing people in their dreams.
Only the Remembrance has the powers to do that.
You planned it out all from the start because she teased you and was pranking you. You wanted to kill her. Oh, I understand. You refused to let me go because you wanted to drag me into all of this.
If I don't agree, I'll end up just like she did.
There is no death inside Penacony's dreamscape. That's the promise of the family and the blessing of the harmony. Not even a memo keeper can break this barrier. There's no need to take such great pains. If you just want confirmation, I've already told you the answer, Miss Sparkle.
Miss Sparkle! Who are you talking to?
You. Sparkle has disguised herself as another character. Wouldn't that be you, Mr. Sampo?
This? Don't jump to conclusions! If you want to accuse me of being Sparkle, you have to provide the evidence. Oh, I'm afraid evidence is a little too hard to come by. So, deduction will do.
The hint for the final question was a little too obvious.
Oh, you mean the locked room murder? I thought you weren't doing that one.
All the painstaking effort that Miss Sparkle put into it. How could I ever miss it? The key to solving the puzzle lay in two pieces of information put forward by the detectives. First, the large splatter of blood at the crime scene. Second, the victim had been dead for some time. Based on my shallow understanding, I can only draw two conclusions. One is that the murderer did not need to create a locked room case, because a locked room always needs a reason to exist. But, based on the detective's description, this locked room did not delay the discovery of the body. There was no third party at the crime scene to frame, and the blood everywhere didn't look like a faked suicide. That being so, the murderer seems to have no reason for creating a locked room. There is also reason to speculate that if the crime scene was a locked room, then its creator might not necessarily be the murderer. As for my second conclusion, it's even more obvious still. When everyone broke into the scene of the crime, why did the assistant rush off to staunch the blood? A trained professional was somehow happily destroying a crime scene just to save someone who's obviously been dead a while. The answer is simple. It's because the assistant detective is the murderer. At the time, I was in such a hurry that I didn't hear the whole mystery. I tentatively speculated that the murderer had killed the victim the night before, but hadn't locked the door from the inside. And so, when he learned this piece of information, he realized that the victim had created their own locked room mystery. That's why he had to rush to the crime scene as soon as possible, to confirm whether or not the victim left any evidence implicating him. And, judging by his behavior, it probably had something to do with that canvas, like some final words. Of course, this is just a simple mind game. The answer to the puzzle isn't important. Miss Sparkle just wanted to pass on one hint to me, that the murderer is the assistant detective. Which means it's you, Mr. Sampo. I've been using this term of address, but it was you who first came up with it.
Has anyone ever told you that you're more like a detective than a memo keeper?
In my opinion, there is no difference between the two. Follow ripples along the surface of the water. Use some abilities and tricks to keep diving deeper, and touch that secret deep inside people's hearts. Salvage it, and protect them carefully. The truth does not lie. Neither do memories.
Exquisite reasoning, and very close to the truth. But I have another answer. Would you like to hear it?
Another answer?
The great artiste Sparkle locked herself away in her bedroom. You using red paint to create the semblance of spattered blood everywhere. And that assistant detective who was first on the scene, who confirmed her death, was not the murderer, but rather an accomplice who assisted her in faking her own death.
What a pity. Such a pity. My dear, you were so close to the right answer. Unfortunately, the right answer is... Miss Sparkle's body. Sparkle was disguised as Sparkle's body. Ding-a-ling! I won!
Does Miss Sparkle's body even count as a real character?
Why not? Miss Sparkle's body appeared in all 3 of those skits just then.
It's a little bit forced, but it's fine. So, who is this Mr. Sampo, then?
Beautiful lady, I already confessed everything to you earlier on. I really didn't know a thing. I just helped a friend send a letter. That's all.
So I've been running a fool's errand this whole time.
My dear, why so serious? Haven't you been having a great time? I have, at least. You take memories, and I get joy. We get what we need from each other, seeing as we're such kindred spirits, but also such loners. Why don't you come and work with me? Ooh, we can dance ballet together.
Oh? Am I understanding this correctly? A masked fool inviting me to work together?
A show of unprecedented splendor is about to be staged in Penacony. If you're too late to take the stage, you can work behind the scenes. If you want to appreciate this drama, you have to stand up under that spotlight as you take the stage and watch the dancing envelop you. Come with me. This is the best seat in the house.
I don't really understand why you're so fixated on destroying family barriers. But, as I said before, a memo keeper can't help you. It's frankly above my pay grade. Also, I don't consider you a loner. Oh, I don't mean him, but rather behind you. The one who hired you to come to Penacony probably doesn't want you secretly linking up with other forces, right?
How did you know?
Memory is like the deep blue sea. But if you try to catch 2 fish with 1 cast, you might not be satisfied with your catch.
So, you mean you're refusing? Memo Keeper, did you think you could just leave?
Why not?
My dear, I don't want to scare you. You'll know the answer sooner or later. We're just getting to know each other a little today. If you ever change your mind, come find me at the tavern. That is, if you can find me. Let's go, Sampo? Sampo. Who is... Sampo?
This is Bellabog, right?
I said, why not? Don't worry. Such a crude approach violates my statics of memory. So once you leave my sight, you'll be able to remember everything again. And also, I'm sorry, my dear. My dream dance partner? I've already got sights on someone else.
Special feeling this has been. Did you notice its nested structure? Being part of the play inside the dreamscape is as real, captivating.